Hello everybody, welcome to Life in France. Life in France versus life in the UK. I'm Mark, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget, hit that red button so you don't miss any future releases. When I first started the channel, Life in France, I did say that some of the topics may be a little bit controversial, and I've been biting my tongue for several months now, but enough's enough. I'm going to have to get it off my chest. COVID. And COVID restrictions in the UK. What on earth is going on? You know, last year when it all started, they said, yeah, the old are at risk. Not a problem with the young. All of a sudden now, you know, all the old have been vaccinated, and they're saying the problem is we've got a lot of 30-year-olds in hospital dying. Where were those 30-year-olds last year in the hospital dying? Why is it that now the old are vaccinated, that all of a sudden 30-year-olds are getting seriously ill? Doesn't make sense. Because if they can get seriously ill now, why weren't they getting seriously ill last year? We've been told children don't need to be vaccinated. Now in the UK, they're talking about vaccinating children over the age of 12. Why do they keep changing their minds as regards to what's working and what's not? Now, the one thing I couldn't understand, they put France on Amber Plus. They have this traffic light system in the UK as regards to the travel restrictions. And any country that's on red, people are banned from travelling, unless when they come back into the UK, they have to go into quarantine for 10 days in a hotel paid for by themselves at a cost of £1,700. For some reason, the UK put France on Amber Plus and did the same restrictions as though they were red. Why call it Amber Plus? It's either amber or it's red. And why is it that they put this special restriction on France when at the time France was only getting 12,000 cases per day, yet the UK were getting 45,000 cases a day? Doesn't make sense. And it's really starting to sort of grate on me. And the other thing is, you know, they say, oh, the hotel's going to cost you £1,700. Well, my best friend, he's just had to go to South Africa, another red country, and he's had to come back and do 10 days quarantine in a hotel. It's cost him £2,400 for him and his wife. And he said, it's absolutely atrocious. He actually told me it took longer to get from the airport to the hotel in the UK than it did to fly from South Africa to the UK. And he said the food is absolutely atrocious. He's actually made a complaint to his MP, and he's actually writing other complaints, and he's actually contacted the press. It's that bad. And the other thing I can't understand, you know, they've been saying for months, you know, it's the Indian virus, you know, this virus D now that's causing all the problems. We keep being told that what's being reported in India is probably only a quarter of the true figures. And yet last week, India's been taken off the red list. So people can still now travel from India, come straight into the UK, and they haven't got a quarantine. And yet France last week, they still had to quarantine. I believe the figures in France, and I would do in India and China, but you know, it just really, what is it all about? And you know, they're saying, oh, you know, people with 2 vaccines now are getting ill, getting seriously ill. By the way, I've not had a vaccine. You know, at the end of the day, my feelings are that if I'm told that it takes 5 to 10 years to produce a vaccine, I'm not going to put something in my body that's taken 10 months to create. I'm sorry, I'm not going down that road. You know, we keep ourselves to ourselves in here in rural France. I think that Naomi and I have probably had it. Last year we got really ill. We were lethargic for about 3 or 4 days. Just didn't have any oomph in us. So I think we probably had it and just got through it. Thankfully we are still very fit, but I don't know. What do you think? What do you think about what I've just said? I'd love to hear in the comments below. Do you think I'm talking rubbish? Or do you also think, what on earth is going on? Because I do. You know, 1 minute we're told one thing, when we're told something else. Businesses are suffering so much. And oh, here's another thing. I'm going to get everything off my chest now. Nurses are complaining in the UK about a 1% pay rise. They've now been given a 3% pay rise. Self-employed, we were lucky to keep the roof over our heads. We don't get guaranteed income, 5 weeks holiday, lovely final salary pension scheme. Yet the nurses are complaining that they had a 1% pay increase. Oh, they're the angels and they've looked after everybody. Yes, that's their job, isn't it? I can't understand why they're moaning. Oh, you know, we've had to do this and we've had to do that. That's the profession they wanted to do. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this short rant. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the matter. What do you think with COVID? Oh, just one other thing. 400 to 500 immigrants are taking a little boat, paddling across the channel and coming into the UK. They have not had their injections. Are they being quarantined? What's going on with them? No one says anything about that, do they? And yet, anyone else travelling from France has to do a 10-day quarantine period. And yet you see all these immigrants. Oh, by the way, I saw this really grates. We're paying the French 54 million extra pounds to stop these immigrants coming across the channel. And yet on the news the other week, I saw a French Navy vessel running alongside one of these rubber dinghies, making sure they're okay. As soon as they got out of French waters, it was au revoir, there's England. And then it was down to the Royal Navy to take on looking after them. What's that all about? You know, if the French are supposed to be policing the beaches, surely they're policing the waters as well. Why don't they stop that boat and take them back to France? Why are they allowing them to go across the channel? Is it all politics? Is it all about money? It's just very frustrating, especially when everybody's is working and living under such strict restrictions due to COVID. Why is it that we don't get told everything? Guys, the other thing I'd like to say regarding the refugees that are coming across the channel, they've probably got no paperwork on them. How do we know who they are or what they are? The UK has had over 10,000 refugees come across on small boats just in 2021 to date. 10,000. You see boat after boat of young men coming across the channel, entering the UK. What is the history of them? We'd never know. How can we protect our borders? Not only are we fighting COVID, we're fighting the invasion. And no one seems to be talking about it or doing anything about it. And that's why I wanted to make this video today, because it's really starting to eat at me. And I can't be the only one. Let me know what you think.